A boomerang. A boomerang is a hunting weapon. It's a tool that was and still is used by the Australian Aborigines and other indigenous people around the world. A returning boomerang. A returning boomerang is aerodynamically designed such that it returns to the hands of the sender. The purpose of a returning boomerang is to return. So if you throw it out, it comes right back to you. Hello, this is Arjun and I am a life coach, a motivational speaker, a corporate trainer and a writer. And today we are going to discuss the virtue of empathy. Every farmer knows that he gets back exactly what he plants. So if a farmer wants rice, then he plants the seeds of rice. He can't plant wheat and then expect back a harvest of rice. No, that's not how it works. To get rice, you must plant rice. To get wheat, you must plant wheat. The return is equivalent to the kind of seeds that are planted by you. The quantum of heat produced by a furnace is directly proportional to the amount of wood, fuel, gas or electricity that is supplied to the unit. It would be erroneous to anticipate warmth from a furnace without first giving it the requisite fuel energy that drives it in the first place. With a furnace, first you supply fuel, then you receive heat. What you get back is proportional, equivalent to what you put in. Whether it's a boomerang, a seed, a furnace, or life, what you put out is what you get back. This is universal law. It is called the law of reciprocity. Now, sometimes it takes time for that return. Occasionally there is an interval, a space, a gap between cause and effect. That time lag is a delay, but it's not a denial. The procedure must be finished. The circuit must be completed. The thing that goes out must come back, and it must come back in a form that is similar to what was sent out by you in the first place. In this era of enlightenment, this age of awareness, this time period of revelation and quickening, that delay, that gap, that space between cause and effect, between origin and outcome, that distance between instigation and activation. In today's times, that gap is substantially reduced. Boomerangs, rice harvests, and hot furnaces come back into our lives faster now than ever before. Some of us are even being surprised by the reappearance of boomerangs that we launched years or even decades ago and completely forgot about. A few of us are able to make the correlation between the causes that we created in the past and the effects of that those causes are bringing forth in our life and to us today. In the work that I do in coaching, the coachee and I first observe the effects that are being played out in the coachee's life, and these effects are the state of his or her job, their business, their finances, and of course their health and relationships. These are the effects. And if you want to change anything about these effects in your life, your job, your business, your finances, your health, and your relationships, then you must first discover the causes that precede each of these effects. And the causes which bring forth all of the effects in your life are your beliefs, your attitudes, your values, and your paradigms. These are the causes of every effect that exists in your life today. Well, there is another cause, and we will talk about that cause momentarily. That other cause is what this video session is all about today. For now, let's just say that all of what you have or don't have, all of what you have or don't have in your life is because of the causes that you created in your mind. And now when we cognize things this way, we learn to plant better seeds today in order to create the effects that we desire for tomorrow. Talking about cause and effect, in recent times with some of my acquaintances, the cause was complacency and the effect was redundancy. And while they may blame their job loss on the virus, the economic downturn, cruel corporate policy, the fact is companies today are hiring. Companies are hiring those who have upskilled, retooled, and reinvented themselves. Those that are rapidly learning, cause, are being swiftly employed, effect. In the long term, your income effect will not exceed your personal development, cause. So first develop your mental self and then you will have a better material self. In the short term, you might be lucky enough to make some money, but you won't keep your currency unless you are growing yourself. More now than ever before, if you are casual about your self-development, if you are casual about your self-development, you will end up a casualty. Anyway, that's another discussion for another day. Let's get back on point, back to what this video is all about. Remember what we said before, what you put out is what you get back. First there is instigation, then there is activation. Cause precedes effect. For every outcome there is an origin. The universe is a mirror. It's a mirror of your habitual thinking patterns. And in this mechanism, in this system of action and reaction, we make the obvious inquiries. Inquiries like, how do I gain control? How do I gain control of this cause and effect cycle? Number one. Yeah. Number two, what causes can I create in order to receive the effects that I desire? That's number two. Number three, and I like this one, is there one universal cause? Is there one universal cause? A sort of higher order root cause that dovetails into a plentitude of desired effects? Okay, what were those questions again? All right, let me repeat because this is important. Question number one, how do I gain control of this cycle of cause and effect? Question number two, what causes can I create in order to receive the effects that I desire? And question number three, what is the one universal cause that produces for me a plentitude of desired effects? Whoa! That third question. That third question. What is the one universal cause? A higher order root cause, a single domino which when knocked over predictably unleashes an abundance of desired outcomes for you. And that's what our video today is all about. What is the mother of all causes, the root of all roots, the chief instigator, the primary originator of good outcomes, that starting point cause, that genesis, the Big Bang that conceives, that births a universe full of treasures, is empathy. Empathy. Simply put, the word empathy means the ability to understand the feelings of others. Empathy is sensitivity towards another person's life condition. It is also sensibility about what the other person is going through at that particular time. So it is sensitivity and sensibility. Gosh, I could speak about just that for hours on end, but I'm not going to. The word empathy is derived from the Greek word empathia, empathia, which means affection, passion, or putting yourself into another person's shoes. That's the etymology of the word empathy. Empathy is walking a mile as though you were in their body, and it is also feeling into their feelings without you being pulled down by those feelings. This right here, empathy, is the true origin, the cause, the initiator of all good outcomes in the domain of cause and effect. And in your life, empathy is the prequel to every happy sequel. Time and again, I've noticed that folks who imbibe the principles of empathy organically attract avalanches of abundance into their lives. Let's go ahead now and unveil the dynamics, the workings, and the DNA of empathy. How is empathy practiced? How is it lived? How do we be empathetic? What does it mean to truly be in a state of empathetic union with another human being? What are the feelings that you, the empathizer, need to feel in order to originate the cause that then unequivocally leads to the desired effects of goodness in your life? Interested? Then let's get started. Seek first to understand, then seek to be understood. That ever so famous line by Stephen Covey. Habit number 5 from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand, then seek to be understood. All of empathy begins with understanding. Alright, do you remember cause and effect? The practice of understanding another human being. The practice of understanding another human being activates the cause of empathy, which then produces the effect of good fortune for you. So, if the cause is empathy towards others, and the effect for you is good fortune, then understanding is the activator of that empathy cause, which then brings you good fortune effect. So let's examine how you, me, we can be and become understanding. Now, let me clarify. Understanding does not mean that you have to agree with everything that the other person says or does. And it does not mean that you need to change your personal beliefs or values. No, no, that's not what it means at all. Understanding is an appreciation of where they are coming from. It is a recognition of the reasons for their behavior. It is not an endorsement or sanctioning of their conduct, mind you. Rather, it is a sensitivity towards the circumstances that have made this person behave in this manner. Okay? That is understanding. And that is the kind of understanding that actuates empathy in its true form. Let's get on with it. Let's further understand understanding. Here are 2 keys to understanding. This is how you can really understand the other person in an empathetic way. Key to understanding number 1. Seek to learn from them. Pay attention. Be curious. Open your mind. When they talk, listen with interest, observe, notice and discover. Sincerely desire to receive the information that they share with you. You might be surprised with what you learn from them and about them. Pretend. Pretend that you are about to write an exam immediately after the interaction with that person. Pretend also that every question in that exam is around factual information about them, factual information that they share with you. I said factual information and not deduced information. Perhaps pretend also that your performance in that exam will directly affect your finances, it will affect your health, and it will affect your relationships. Now you will pay attention to them, right? You will seek to learn from them and you will seek to learn about them, right? So that's the first key to understanding. Learn from them and receive information from them. Receive information objectively. Key to understanding number 2. To really understand the other person, you need to be present. Be present for them and be in the present moment with them. Let them feel that you are wholeheartedly there, that you are unequivocally with them in the now without distraction or diversion. When you do this, you enter their world. It's almost as if you go through a portal, like a stargate, whoosh, and you arrive in the dimension of their existence. You enter their reality. You've put on a pair of virtual reality goggles and you can now see, hear, feel, smell, and taste their world as if you were in a 3-dimensional motion picture, their 3-dimensional motion picture. In this space, you experience telepathy with them, which is nothing but a sense of resonance or alignment with them. You are literally, no, you are not. You're not literally reading their mind. No, that's not the telepathy that I'm talking about. Rather, you are observing how they think. And you are observing how they think in real time. That's what I mean by telepathy. You are observing their version of reality. You're witnessing their model of the world. You're not becoming them. You are still you, yet you are understanding their experiences within their universe, and hence you are now more empathetic towards why they are the way they are. This kind of equanimous, unbiased perception of their worldview is an exemplification of understanding. And when you start to observe their world in this way, you can even go beyond telepathy. You can now go beyond and not just perceive their world, you can also sense their world. And you sense their world in the same way that they are sensing their world. So you are now A, observing how they think by entering their world, and also B, you are sensing their emotions or feelings, and you are doing this without judgment. At this level, you have transcended the realm of telepathy, and you are now in the domain of telepathy. Telepathy. Telepathy is one step ahead of telepathy. It is understanding their thoughts and recognizing or sensing their feelings. Telepathy. You are in a realm where you experience their thinking and their feelings simultaneously. You are in a realm where you experience their thinking and their feeling simultaneously. This is the epitome of true understanding. So let's summarize. The two keys to understanding are, number one, seek to learn from them. That is, receive information from them objectively, without judgment or bias. And number two, be present for them. Be in the moment with them. The application of these two keys takes you to telepathy, which is the understanding of their thoughts, you understanding their thoughts, and then to telepathy, which is you now understanding their feelings. And when you apply yourself in this manner, you will shift from understanding to inner standing. Do this and notice how your empathy begins to expand and how your relationships blossom into joy. If need be, watch this section of the video again and again until you really understand what's being said here. Or could I say, until you really understand what's being transmitted from here. This concludes part 1 of this 2-part video, and in part 2 we will go deeper into the concept of understanding by learning how to understand and also discuss the philosophy of empathy as well. So stay tuned for part 2, it's coming right up.